Hey everyone! Today we're taking a look at an exciting battle between the 11th world champion Robert Fischer and the great Soviet grandmaster F.M. Geller. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new chess videos. In this game, Fischer had the white pieces and began with e4. Geller replied with the Sicilian defense. White develops a piece, and after d6, they strike in the center with d4. After the exchange on d4, black attacks the pawn on e4, and white defends it, developing a piece at the same time. Black also develops, and here Robert goes for his favorite line, the Sozin attack. Black strengthens the position with e6. Next comes bishop e3, bishop e6. Black is getting ready to castle, while white plays a prophylactic move, bishop b3. That's because sooner or later, the light-squared bishop would be under attack by the black pieces, so white moves it away in advance. Geller castles, placing his king safely, and white brings the queen to e2, keeping both castling options open, kingside or queenside. After queen a5, black pins the knight and threatens to capture on e4. But now, white castles long. Let's note that if white had castled short, Geller planned to trade on d4 and play b6, followed by bringing the light-squared bishop to a6. In that case, black would have had no problems. But Fischer chooses to castle long, and we now have a position with opposite side castling, and in such positions, both sides usually go all in, attacking the enemy king.
In this position, Geller trades on d4, developing his last minor piece and connecting the rooks, which usually marks the end of the opening stage. White makes a prophylactic move, king b1, moving the king away from the c-file and also protecting the a2 pawn, just in case the white pieces later leave the queenside and the a2 square comes under pressure from the black queen. And now, in this position, Geller makes his first inaccuracy. He plays bishop c6. In such positions, every tempo counts, so black needed to immediately start counterplay on the queen side with b5, then maybe b4, rook c8, and launch an attack against the white king.
Bishop c6 is simply too slow. Now, white begins his attack on the king side. The idea is to push f5 and open up the diagonal for the powerful light-squared bishop. Geller delays once again with rook d8. And after rook f1, white begins his assault. Efem finally plays b5, but it's already too late. White opens up the diagonal for the light-squared bishop, threatening to capture on e6, followed by taking the bishop. However, black finds b4, and it turns out the white knight doesn't have any good retreat squares. That means the move f5 was actually a prepared piece sacrifice, a move Fischer made deliberately. So Geller has no choice but to accept the sacrifice on c3. Fischer captures on f7, but this turns out to be a mistake. He should have taken on f7 with the rook instead. After the exchanges, the material would have been equal, but the resulting position for black would have been completely miserable. In the game, after f7, the king moves away, and white continues with rook f5, planning to double along the f-file and prepare a possible exchange sacrifice on f6. Black responds with queen b4, eyeing the weak b2 pawn. If black manages to eliminate the bishop on b3, the white king could be in serious danger. But Fischer calmly continues with queen f1, renewing the threat of sacrifices on f6. After that, the white pieces would break through and deliver checkmate to the black king, which is boxed in by its pawn on f7. Realizing this, Geller retreats his knight, grabbing the e4 pawn along the way. And here, white had a brilliant, study-like idea, queen f4, with the plan of rook h5 targeting the f7 square and threatening to capture on g7. As the analysis shows, the black position is completely hopeless. If after queen f4, black tries to give a check to the white king, then white sacrifices the exchange on d2. After black recaptures with the pawn, the powerful move c3 once again ends the fight. Now, black is in big trouble. The devastating idea bishop g7 is coming. If black sacrifices the queen on b3, hoping that after the pawn recaptures they can promote another queen, it simply doesn't work. White strikes on g7, and the king is forced to capture the bishop. Then comes queen g4, followed by another check after the king moves, and the game ends with checkmate. Numerous variations show that white was winning in this position, but finding all of that over the board was nearly impossible, and Bobby Fischer couldn't handle the complexity after black's move knight e4. He played a3, which seems to attack the queen, but after the retreat, queen b7, the unstable position of the bishop on b3 and the weakness of the b2 pawn start to tell. White eventually played queen f4, but it was already too late. Now bishop a4 followed, and after queen g4, threatening checkmate on g7, black calmly defended against it with his own bishop. After white sacrificed the exchange on f6, black of course didn't take immediately. Instead, they captured on b3, and it turned out that this position was already lost for white. The threat of bishop a2 followed by checkmate on b2 was simply unstoppable. So after move 23, bishop takes b3, Bobby Fischer admitted defeat. So in this incredibly sharp game, Geller made a few small inaccuracies in the opening and failed to organize counterplay in time. White sacrificed a piece and built up a deadly attack against the black king, but at some point, Fischer hesitated and missed the one winning move that could have finished the game on the spot. As a result, the tables turned, and despite his brilliant play earlier, Fischer ended up losing. This game perfectly demonstrates one simple truth. In positions with opposite side castling, every single move counts. The price of one mistake is enormous, and both sides must maintain incredible focus, precision, and energy throughout the battle. That's what makes games like this so fascinating. One slip, one missed idea, and everything can collapse in an instant. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos. And tell me in the comments, what games should cover next? You can also check out one of these videos right here. I'm sure you'll love them.